The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The latest reports are out on the Jets making some trade deadline deals. We'll cover that and the latest on the Jets quarterback mystery. Fireman Ed will join us in his weekly spot. It's a Football Friday. Let's hit it and get it started.
What did you think of the offensive play call in the last two games?
That's a good question. You know?
How much worse can it get for Aaron Glenn's Jets team? Can he salvage this season and give us something to be excited about? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now. Here we go. Here on a Football Friday, we are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jets and the Bengals just 2 days away. Jets probably won't win, but we're going to watch it all together at Goldies Tavern. We'll commiserate all together. If you show up in Jets or Jake Asman Show gear, you get a free beer. Goldies Tavern, located down the block from Penn Station. So come from anywhere in the tri-state area to a central location to watch the Jets and the Bengals halftime raffle for a bunch of signed Jets items, including a framed Breece Hall jersey, a signed Wayne Corbett football, a signed Kevin Mawai jersey, a signed Joe Klecko and Breece Hall photo, and a whole lot more yet to be announced. It's going to be a blast. Free RSVP, free event, free beer included with Jets gear. Make sure you just RSVP. Again, the link is in the description for the show you're watching right now. I invited this guy to join the watch party, but he's headed out to Cincinnati to watch the Jets in person. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our good friend, Fireman Ed, in his weekly spot. Ed, I give you a lot of credit. Still going out there on Sunday to watch this football team, and I hope for the love of God, regardless who the quarterback is, you actually see a win, because you and every diehard fan of this team certainly deserves it.
Well, I'd love to see us get a win. I mean, that's for sure. Do I think we're going to get a win? Nah, I think it's going to be tough. What I seen last week and looking behind that bench, I didn't like what I seen. So
let's talk about that, because this was a one-score game for most of the way, Ed. And you know, you and I were talking off air. You sit right behind the bench, so you have a pretty good view of how the players and coaches are interacting. This was not a blowout. This was a tight game, really throughout. And I'll say this as someone who was there Sunday as well. That was the worst atmosphere I've ever experienced going to any game. Like, you had people leaving in the third quarter, and it's not like the Jets were getting killed. Again, it's a one-score game, but it was so boring, and the offense was so helpless that people just didn't want to watch it anymore, and they were leaving. You're there behind the bench. Point out what you noticed as Aaron Glenn's trying to, quote, change the culture, and it doesn't feel like that's working right now.
Well, what I seen behind the bench, I seen just they don't look like they're buying in, man. They don't seem like they're buying into that, to what he has to do. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I'm just looking at, I'm looking at things that, I'm sorry.
So that's Woody. Tell him to sell the team.
Yeah. You know what? That's just, when I'm looking at the sideline, I've been to so many of these games, and I've seen a whole, it honestly reminded me of last year with Brick when he was running the team. It was similar. It was eerily similar, and just no emotion. I feel like we don't. I don't know if we don't have dogs. Yeah, I feel like we have dogs on that defense. Yeah, I feel like there's guys that are, capable of being. I just don't see it. It seems like I don't know what's happening. I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm going, this is just not right. And a lot of the people around me felt the same way, so it wasn't me, because I was actually asked, I actually asked the usher, I was with the usher, and I said to him, he's heavy into the game. And he said to me, "Nah, man." I says, "Am I imagining this? They don't look like there's any emotion." And he says, "No, there's not." And I just wanted to be like, maybe it was me, and I'm being negative, but that's what I feel. I hope. Listen, I'm just gonna tell you something. The guy's here 7 games. You seen my video on Instagram after the game. What I said to him about the halftime. Back to back, that he didn't throw a Hail Mary, and So, I mean, listen, I said what I had to say. Just give him a little zing of. There's a lot. But that was just something that I felt was 101 football. I have to give him the next 10 games. And I'm giving him the next 10 games because he's a Jet and he deserves that. We'll see where it goes after that. I'm rooting like hell for Aaron Glenn. I'm rooting like hell for him. But what I see so far, and it's only 7 games. All right. But he's got there's bigger issues. It starts at the top with Woody Johnson. So that's where it starts. And, we'll get into that eventually.
Well, here's the reality, right? You look at this team, what do they do better than last year's team? And last year's team, I thought, was the worst coach team in football. So that's my big concern. Everything that Aaron Glenn said would change and that would improve, in a lot of ways, it's either the same or worse. And that to me is just alarming because there are good football players on this team. And you look at where they're at. I mean, 0-7. They've been non-competitive in a lot of these games. The last 2 weeks, at least, the defense has shown a pulse. But every other team in the league this year is 37-1 when you allow 13 points or less. The Jets are 0-2. Like it's just unfathomable just where we're at right now with this team. And that my big issue with the Jets is it's not just that they're losing, it's how they're losing. They're losing in ways that are just you can't explain it unless you just say it's the Jets. And Glenn was supposed to change a lot of that. And now you have this mystery at quarterback. Let's be real. You can't, under any circumstance, start Justin Fields on Sunday. I think Glenn would lose the room if he starts Justin Fields. He had to bench him at halftime. It was the right move. He should have benched him in London, and that cost him a game. You cannot, under any circumstance, start Justin Fields at quarterback. I'm not saying Tyrod's great, but you at least can run your offense with him. He gives the team the best chance to win. It better be Tyrod Taylor on Sunday, after especially what Woody Johnson came out and said. He made his coach's life a lot harder.
Well, let's rewind a little bit, right? So we went over a couple of different things. As far as there's just so much. My brain is shot with, I'm going all over the place right now. Justin Fields getting hit on Sunday in that first series. He got rocked, absolutely rocked, and I wonder if there was a problem with him right then and there, okay? Because that's the second time around with a concussion. He had one in Buffalo, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you that the protocol for concussions are so erratic. It's mind-boggling how they pick and choose what's what. You know what I mean? I just wonder what the actually goes on in the blue tent over there. As far as Aaron Glenn and his decision-making, well, you said what has been different. The only thing I would say that's more secure overall is the special teams. Overall. Now, Isaiah Thomas still tried to receive a punt. He did. He caught it on the 6-yard line on Sunday, which is insanity. All right? So it tells you not inside the 10. So I get that, but I also like that. Listen, we hated that Morstadt left, okay? But this McNamara is a stud. I mean, Jesus Christ.
The two things that have improved are kicker and punter. That's all I can point to.
And I would agree with that. I totally agree with that. I don't think that anything else has improved. I think the defense has taken a step back. When we talk about the defense, and you said 13 points, we have to I want to see what happens this week, because that'll give me an indication, is the defense back, okay? Because you're playing a high-powered offense, and it's not Burrow, all right? But Joe Flacco lit up the Steelers. listen, the Denver Broncos came off of London. I mean, we're in London. They were, I think they took us lightly, and, you know, it is what it is. The Carolina Panthers are not beating anybody. I mean, that's not a high-powered offense. Okay, it's just not. So I want to see what they do this week, because I don't want to say, oh, we gave up 13 points. I know it's the NFL. I get it. I want to see a little more out of the defense to believe that our defense is back. I do believe. Is Quincy playing this week?
Not yet to be determined.
Okay, because I know they open up the window, but because that's going to be a big plus with Quincy back. All right, you're getting healthier on that defense, so I do like their personnel. Listen, here's what I do like. Let's talk about what I do like with the team. I like the acquisitions that Muji has made with Glenn. I don't know who made them. I would think it's both. They both
get credit, because we know Muji ultimately reports to Glenn.
Okay, so with that being said, I like Harrison Phillips. I like Briggs. I love the
Brownlee.
Brownlee that they traded for. I love Malachi Moore. Love him. He's a dog. When we're asking for dogs, that's a dog. I can tell you right now, because when you watch him on the sideline and you watch him play, that's a dog. That's a hungry dog. We need more Malachi Moores. We need more Jermaine Johnsons. That we need. Those are the two dogs on the defense. Quinnen Williams is a great player, but he's not a dog. He's quietly. We need a lot of juice. A lot of juice on that defense. And those two guys are. So those are some of the personnel that I do like. I like the other kid that they got from Florida State, the defensive back. I think he might be a stud. You're seeing Brandon Stevens is starting to come on a little bit.
He's playing well. Yep.
Now, Jermaine Sherwood, who was a killer the first 5 weeks, has now reappeared. So let's see if we can put it all together. And maybe, because he is a defensive coordinator, he is the head coach, and it's only 7 games. I got to give him a little bit, and I'm going to especially give him a lot more because he's a Jet. So he's going to get the benefit of the doubt from me. That's going to happen. That's why when I said on Sunday in my effing car, all right, when I was a lunatic, and I had to do it 2 or 3 times before I actually posted it because I lost my mind. All right, that's beside the point. That's why I don't talk for 48 hours. And I'm just going to tell you, I said to him, you're a Jet. I love you. But now that's unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. You have a timeout and you have 7 seconds. You owe it to your team. I don't give a effing ass if you don't believe in your quarterback. You got to do that for your team.
Put Tyrod in to throw the Hail Mary.
Because your team is looking at you. It's bigger than one guy. Yep. It's way bigger than one guy. Hence, Woody Johnson in the team in NFL meetings, right? We can lead right to that if you'd like, or it's your show. You let me know what you want to do. But I have a lot to say about that.
Well, let's get into that. But first, you mentioned Jermaine Johnson. It's a Football Friday. We up the giveaways on Football Fridays. How about a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey up for grabs for anyone who wants a chance to win? You got to gift a membership or send in a $10 super chat or higher. Walt Clyde Frazier jersey is the top weekly prize in honor of the Knicks.
My guy.
Signed Wayne Corbett football and a signed CJ Mosley helmet are the top 3 prizes in the weekly raffle. You brought up Woody's comments. I mean, I've made my opinion very clear on the show throughout the week. Ed, what did you make of Woody speaking about a bunch of different topics at the owners' meetings?
Well, the first thing that right away came to my attention, and I actually was texted it by my man George Caro from Miami. You know Georgie?
I don't think I know George, but shout out to him.
He has a little limp, and he's a great kid. What a great kid he is. He texted me, says, did you see the hat Woody had on? I said, I did. and so he's got a Crystal Palace hat on when he's at the NFL meetings representing the New York Football Jets. So, that to me, as much as you think it's a small thing, it's not a small thing, because now I'm going to lead to why. Because he bought the Crystal Palace, a big part of the organization, right? I don't know if he's half owner. He's got quite a bit of that soccer team now. That's another interest for him. Was the ambassador in England. He's in the White House doing, dinner donations. And listen, that's, I understand that. Life goes on. But here's what my problem is. We love them so much, the New York Jets. We live and breathe them. We want the most we can get. We want them to be in the upper echelon, right? We expect our owner to feel the same way. And I don't feel that Woody Johnson at this point in time, and I would say the last decade, really, from when he became an ambassador in England, his interests are not the same. And it's like that kid that they interviewed when you say he hated the Jets, right? I just did a video for his father. It was a happy birthday I got from Cameo the other day.
You got to connect me with him. I want him on the show.
So, well, I just said, his father, I don't want to say his name because, but
off there. Yeah. I've been trying. I want to send him some merch.
And the kid, I don't even know the kid's name. I know the father's name, but I did give a little, I talked about the kid.
Here's what Ed is referencing for those who haven't seen it.
Really an absolute phenomenon.
I hate this team.
When you get this allegiance to a team,
I was born into this, and
it sticks with you.
I'm always a Jets fan, but
I'm thankful we have fans like this.
I hate this team.
Unreal.
And I said to him, the reason you hate him so much is because you love them.
Yep.
You love them so much. And when they don't show love back, it makes you hate them. All right? Because that's what happens. Because they're not being run and they're not playing like you expect them to play and be. Because that's your pride. That's your loyalty. That's your love. You're never going to give up on them, but you expect more out of them. So I said to the kid, I understand why you hate them. I hate them because I love them so much, because we love them so much. We expect more out of them. And that kid was right on it, and that's just from the mouths of babes, okay? That's innocence. That's just the love that kid has. And I said to his father, I said, thank you for having him be a Jet fan. I know it's not easy, but when you love something, you love them. When we're being ridiculed and it's you're a Jet fan. To this day, people like that. Listen. You act like that in front of me. You better put them up. You better put them up. That's all I'm going to tell you, because I don't put up with that. I just don't. I love them. It's like my family. All right. You talk about the Jets, you might as well be talking about my family. That's just the way it is. All right. So the owner coming in, and he's got the hat on, and right there, that just pissed me off, because that's not making good statement. Okay. Nobody gives a shit about the Crystal Palace. It's just the New York Football Jets. That's another football in another country. And I don't give a rat's ass about them. All right. I care about the New York Football Jets and what we can accomplish, and and we get out of being the lowest point in our history. We're right up there. You can put it right up there.
This is it.
And the story hasn't been determined yet, because we're only 0-7, and we don't know where this is going. Okay, we don't know where it's going, and I'm hoping they win Sunday. For the fans, for the players, for everybody, okay? But when your owner, now it gets bigger than that, because by you making that statement, and he wasn't wrong with what he said, but he's the owner. You can't say that, okay? So now it trickles down, because now whose Justin Fields' boy. Who's his boy?
Garrett Wilson.
Who's your best player on the team?
Garrett Wilson.
Who's in the locker room that just signed a contract and is trying to tell you, I want to change this culture. I want to change this whole narrative.
Garrett Wilson.
This is what you do. So when you open your mouth, you destroy what Aaron Glenn is trying to build in a roundabout way. Now, whether he meant to do it or not, I'm sure that's not was his intention, but that's what happens because we're human beings and we're going to have feelings, okay? So you got to be careful what you say, okay? Because you're the owner. You're not the fan. You're not Fireman Ed. You're not Jake Asman. You are the owner of the New York Football Jets. You're wearing a Crystal Palace hat at the NFL meetings. Our fan base hasn't had a win. You always wore the Jet hat and a green tie. You wore a blue tie. And what are we doing? What are we doing? This is when I say, I question the love that we have for this team and the desire, and we want this team to succeed and win a world championship. I question, are we on the same page? Because when Woody, let me be clear here. I think Woody Johnson's a nice man. I love his brother Christopher. I love Chris. Chris should be talking on the podium. Chris, I don't want to hear, all right, he hired Adam Gase. He listened to Peyton Manning, okay? He listened to Peyton Manning, all right? Don't hold him to everything because it's the one thing, okay? Chris Johnson would talk a lot better than his brother, okay?
Not even close.
But his brother is the older brother, and that's, I guess, how the family is going. The older brother will be the one. I think they're co-owners. When I Google it, it sure seems like they're co-owners. So Chris has a different mannerism, okay? But you gotta listen. Everything you're held accountable for a lot of things, right? We are season ticket holders, right? We pay the bills overall, right? I mean, we love that team. Isn't there responsibility to watch what is actually being? You got to handle yourself a certain way because it ultimately comes back to you and it makes us look like horses' asses. That's what it makes you look like. You know, you can't do that because it goes downhill. Everything goes downhill. Once you do that, this is what happens. Now you undermine the coach. You undermine the best player on the team. All right. And, you know, me, if I'm in that locker room, I'm an absolute lunatic. A lunatic.
That's right.
It's just a fact. It's the way it is. I'm not talking nonsense. And I just told you, I think the guy's a nice guy. All right? But nice guys don't win.
Well, the problem is he has no one that will ever stand up to him or be honest with him. And he has too many yes men around him.
Yes.
The team president, Jaime Elhai, has been there for 20 years. Now he's in these alleged lawsuits, and they're going out of their way to protect him, defend him, and keep him around.
I don't know what's going on there. I don't give a rat's ass. It's not football.
But nothing changes.
All I care about is football.
Right.
Football,
but the problem
football.
is the people that are around him are just yes men, and no one can ever
And
have
I
a tough
agree with
conversation with him. That's the
I
problem.
do. I agree with that. I think he's been misled. But I also believe that if you look at the timeline, Woody bought the team in 2000, okay? The Jets were in the playoffs 6 of the first 11 years that he's owned this team, okay? And went to 2 championships, okay? You can look at that timeline, and you could look at the last decade or a little bit before that, and I don't know what went on with this man, but I know that he does not have the intensity that we as fans deserve. Do you think Robert Kraft, do you believe that Mr. Kraft, he lives and breathes the New England Patriots? He lives and breathes them. Okay? Mike Vrabel came to this organization. You might as well had a Mack truck riding right at you to not realize that Mike Vrabel was using the New York Football Jets to get to New England, to let Kraft know that, I could co-sign here. He had no interest in signing here. That's a whole nother story, because they should be investigated for the Rooney Rule, okay? Because that was a mockery, okay? But that's a whole nother story. Listen, the bottom line is I'm sick and tired of the New York Football Jets being a second-class citizen. We shouldn't be in the stadium with the Giants, okay? Woody went to get the West Side Stadium when he first bought the team. And they got knocked, all right, by let me be clear. The New York State Public Authority Control Board knocked them, all right, in 2006 from the West Side Stadium. Woody, I was part of that. I did a commercial for it. I fought with my New York City Fire Department union over that, okay, because we didn't have a contract, which we never had for 20 years I was there, okay? That's bullshit. Anyway, they were pissed off at me. I did a commercial with my T-shirt on. I should have did it with my Jet stuff on, and I apologize for that. But I did not apologize for the West Side Stadium, because it would have been our own stadium. It would have been us. So Woody wanted that, okay? And since then, when he didn't get it, there's a clause. This year was a clause. You can get out of MetLife Stadium under the shadows of the New York Giants. Okay? Instead, nothing. 2030, there's another out. Okay? What I'm telling you is, if you love this team as much as we love this team, get out of the shadows. Do whatever you have to do. If I had the billions of dollars that man has, I could just tell you this, that I would do everything I could to everything. I owe it to me, to the fan base, that loyal fan base. You owe it to us to get out of the shadows and show that you want to be the owner of the New York Football Jets, because I feel like he lost his way. In the last decade, he's lost his way. He's listening to, I don't know who he's listening to, but he's listening to, Mike Tannenbaum he was listening to. He's listening to a lot of people. Listen, we are struggling as an organization, and our fan base deserves more. We deserve so much more. We're so loyal. When they talk about loyal fan bases and they constantly say, oh, the Detroit Lions, oh, they're brutal. The Cleveland Browns, oh, they're brutal. Oh, the Buffalo Bills for a long time, they're brutal. Oh, the Minnesota Vikings. You know what they all have in common that we don't?
Stadium.
Yeah, they have their own stadium. We don't. Okay, we don't. So we are wayward souls that have longed for. That's why I wanted the West Side Stadium. Okay, I didn't like everything about the West Side Stadium, but it would have been our stadium. It would have been ours. Okay, and you would have figured it out. You would have figured out tailgating. You would have figured out everything. That's the bottom line, and it's so infuriating because there's a bigger picture, and it ultimately, in the last decade and a half, this is what you have. And we're going from coach and GM to coach and GM. And there's no stability. There's no stability. And it starts at the top. It starts there. I like Woody Johnson. I love Christopher Johnson. There has to be changes made at the top. That it has to happen. We got to get back. It's all about the New York Football Jets, and we got to be one of the top tiers. And right now, we're at the bottom.
Well, they're the worst franchise in sports, and there's no team that gives its diehard fans a worse return on investment than the Jets. It's not even close. I mean, what's depressing about all this is the playoff drought's at 15 now, and there's no real end in sight. Like, unless they magically hit on a quarterback who's great, like Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud were as a rookie, it's not ending next year either. And I know you want to give Glenn more time, and I do too. He's got 10 games, but imagine they finish with 2 wins and they bring everyone back. You want this regime picking a quarterback? So, like, that's the problem.
Well,
like they've given you nothing to believe. Nothing.
Jake, at this point, of course, but I can't do ifs and buts. I wanna see what the next 10 games, we wind up going 5-5. Do I believe we're going to go 5-5? Of course not. Now, but let's see. I have to see some more of this regime and what, I just told you, I like some of the acquisitions. I like some of the things that they've done on a team. Now on the field, not so much.
Yeah, you want my list of everything they've done wrong, because we'll be here for 3 hours. I mean, it's been a joke. This team has never been coached worse than what we have seen this year, and that includes Ulbrich last year. Like, it's that bad. I mean, at least last year they had the lead in the fourth quarter in a lot of games. They can't even do that. They're getting either blown out or they're not able to score an offensive touchdown for 2 straight games. I'm with you. Anyone saying fire Aaron Glenn now? Of course,
they should have won Sunday.
They should have won in London. They should have won week 1. They should have beat the Dolphins. They should have at least 4 wins right now.
It's just, isn't it amazing? Like, just an example, Tyrod Taylor double pumping on the flea flicker. Like, Lazard was so wide open that it was scary how wide open he was. He was so wide up. And if I'm not mistaken, that would have tied the game, right? That would have tied the game. I think it would have been 13 apiece.
Mm-hmm.
And think about the stadium, all the 40,000 or less that were there, okay, they would have been erupting because everybody was just looking for anything. And it was a good play call. And it's just amazing to me, like, these guys go into funks. I don't know what it is. Tyrod Taylor, what does he do best? He throws a great deep ball. Throws a great deep ball. All his career, he's double pumping. And he couldn't throw the ball. I'm like, oh my God. Like, what is happening? Because you want to get off the schneid. And you can build something. Right now, these guys, this is why did we start the show? With the lacklusterness on the sideline. A pass like that can ignite the team, and maybe we go on and win the game and see what happens, right? Instead, it's just another thing, and it's just compounded and compounded and compounded. These guys need a win. They need a win. They need something positive to happen for them. And then you got the owner going there on the NFL meetings, and he's hammering the starting quarterback who your best player is best friends with. You gotta be thinking before you do that. And why are you wearing a Crystal Palace hat? What are we doing? What are we doing as an organization? Come on!
I mean, I don't know what to say. They're poorly run.
Am I wrong?
No, I agree with everything you're saying. I think the one thing I'll say is I think part of the reason why Tyrod Taylor is underthrowing that play to Lazard you're referencing, I think the fact that he's coming in cold at halftime, he's not like I think if he honestly had a full week of preparation to play.
Yeah, but it's fourth quarter. He's a professional cornerback.
He might hit that throw. I'm just saying, like, if
you
want
make that throw, and Lazard was wide open.
I agree. Can Lazard come back to the ball?
By the time he double pumped, the guy caught up to him, and he underthrew the ball.
I think it's everything right now, and I think that
it is.
Ultimately, the one thing they need more than anything, just to calm things down, they need a win. You want to go into the bye week 0-8, 2 weeks of one and done talk, 2 weeks of because this could be the last game we ever see Brees play as a Jet. Quincy Williams, Michael Carter. They're not going to trade Jermaine. We know that, thank God. But like Like, that's the conversation right now. If they go into the bye week 0-8, the trade deadline is November 4th. The next time the Jets play a game won't be until that Browns game. After the bye, the deadline would have passed. So let's see. I mean, if they win on Sunday, it will show me a lot about Glenn, because I think Woody made Aaron Glenn's job a lot harder, and I'm rooting for Glenn to turn it around. I don't think he will, but I think the fact that Woody said what he said just makes life for Aaron Glenn a lot harder this week, because how's that locker room taking those comments? That's the biggest thing I wonder.
It's the culmination. This is what I'm saying. You know, when I watched that, I came home, I went, oh my God, no, because I'm thinking of the ramifications of what's going to happen there, you know? And at first you're just listening to it. And, you know, those writers, those were the ones that killed him to begin with, who he was talking to. He was talking to Diana Rossini and Zach Rosenblatt. I mean, they just murdered him last year with the Athletic, with Mike Silva. The three of them murdered Woody. You know, like that. See, if I'm the owner of the team, I know what responsibility I have. When I see you three that murdered me, I would just say, I'm not talking tonight.
Well, do you know how it started, Ed? He said, I have nothing to say, and then proceeded to stand there for 7 minutes and start talking to them.
I know. I seen it. Jake, I'm like you. You know, I read everything. We love this team. We're versed on this team. You know, this is why when I go riding down to the gas station and, I go in the deli and I hear people talk about the Jets and they're going to give me their opinion. And then I ask them, who's our corners? And they don't know what I'm talking about when they can't say who the cornerbacks are on my team. Then you know what happens, Jake? The conversation's over. I'm wasting my time. Nobody cares about your opinion when you don't have anything to back it. You got to be able to back it. When you back it, then we'll talk. We live and breathe this. This is why when you see our owner, who's a nice man, maybe you should think about having your brother talk.
He won't do it. He won't do it.
Woody's
ego is ginormous.
Your brother is well-spoken, all right? Both great guys. But as far as the organization, man, I just say to myself, the love that we have, the love that I have for this team, I just would run it a lot differently. I just would. I would never be the doormat. That would never happen. And the billions that I have would make it even. There's no way. Look what Stevie Cohen's doing. I mean, did he win a championship? No, but he's in play. He's in play.
Also, you see the statement he put out after the Mets collapse? That's an owner taking accountability and understanding his fan base. Woody Johnson is clueless. How about his answer when he said, real Jet fans know what's going on? No, we don't, Woody. We know that you're the biggest laughingstock in sports right now. You hired, once again, first-timers learning on the job you're paying millions of dollars for. You ever get tired of losing? You ever get sick of it? Because we're sick of it, and you're losing a lot of your fans. No one is renewing their tickets next season if this team finishes with 2 wins or less, and Aaron Glenn and this staff are going to be able to oversee the first pick in the draft. It's not happening. So they need to wake up.
There's nobody in the stadium.
No,
it's only the diehards. I've been saying this for years. The diehards show up. There's about 40,000 diehards that show up every week, no matter what. They just do. They show up. I've been going 52 years. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, and they're all there. Okay, but then it's the other 40,000 are just, fly-by-nights. It is what it is. And what you had there Sunday was basically 40,000 diehards. There wasn't a lot of Carolina fans because they don't have a fan base. They don't, they just don't. There might have been 5,000 Carolina fans there. Yeah, there was that. You were in the stadium. There wasn't a lot of Carolina fans there.
No.
There wasn't a lot of fans, period. But the ones that were there, I'm telling you what they are. They're diehards. And it infuriates me. So when I see that kid that said what he said, you know what? From the mouth of babes, what he said. I hate this team. He hates them because he loves them so much and he expects so much out of them.
That's right.
And they don't give anything back. They don't. And, it's always the same way in life, right? When you love something so much, right? You love it so much and they don't love you back. What does it do? It makes you angry. It makes you hate them. But you're not going to desert them because you love them. You're loyal to them. You're loyal to them. That's what I told that kid. I said, you're loyal. You're loyal. He says, I'll always be a Jet fan, but I hate this team because they don't show you love. They don't give you the love back. And, it was perfect what that kid, you got to respect his father. As Jet fans, you respect his father. When I hear people, I don't want to raise my kid as a Jet fan. Well, all right, go ahead. We don't need you. Go ahead, move on. You know what? Listen, part of the journey is always, when the journey is the worst, it's the journey to build and to become great. It's the road to greatness. It's the hurdles. When you hear teams that win championships, what do they talk about? Yeah, the culmination of a championship, but it was the way to get there and how they went and the ride to get there. That was the joy, because you were doing with all your boys. You were going crazy. You were going nuts. This win, that win, this win, right? You long for those days. We had it there for a little while with Rex, with the championships back to back. We thought we were winning it, right? We did. We went into Pittsburgh. I know when I went into Pittsburgh after beating New England, I thought we were going to be world champs that year. I did. And it was the journey. So we long for that. And it's 15 years now. 15 goddamn years. And I just feel like Woody's lost his way. I really do. He's got too many people in his ear, the wrong people. And I mean, just the game day experience alone, it's changed. It's just it's a disaster. You go there, it's all it is T-shirts. I mean, every other minute it's T-shirts. They're shooting off T-shirts. I mean, this is what we've come to, Who's dancing in the aisles? I mean, nothing about football. It's nothing on the field.
Replays
nothing.
either. What a disaster that is. They don't show you a damn thing. It's ridiculous.
No, it's the game day experience has become trash. Just total trash.
That's horrible.
You go into Pittsburgh, you see their game day. You go into the hardcore. I'm anxious to see. I'm going to Cincinnati Sunday. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen in Cincinnati. And how they, because everywhere we go, I see, intense football. It's not about entertainment. It's not about the entertainment. What can we do to entertain the crowd? Because it ain't happening on the field. It is what it is, bro. I've been there a long time. It's my 40th year. We're doing a Jet chant. Not that we ever do the Jet chant anymore, because they got everybody else doing a Jet chant now. So that's a whole nother joke.
Well, they also don't score, so that's part of the problem.
And they don't score, and there's a lot of things, but no defensive chance. There's no defensive chance. I mean, that's home field advantage. Defensive chance, a home field advantage. Look at any stadium. That's the way it is. So we lost our way, I'll tell you that, in the last 15 years. Woody's got to reevaluate what he's doing. I can tell you that, because it doesn't look like he's going to sell a team.
He won't. So, it's not happening.
Yeah, and we deserve better.
Truer words have never been said. I say that all the time. The Jet fan base is the best in sports, and the Jet organization doesn't deserve how great its fans are. There's no doubt. Now, the only thing I could say to you is have a safe trip to Cincinnati, and I hope you see a win, because Aaron Glenn needs it desperately at this point.
I'll be right behind the bench. Third row, 50-yard line. Me and my boy Arnold will be there. And we'll see. I mean, I know Boomer Esiason, I think they're having their Bengals have their Hall of Fame, I think, induction.
They do.
I know Boom is going to be there, so hopefully I'll say hello to Boomer, because I love Boom. It's my guy. So anyway, all right, brother, all the best. I'm sure you got some highlights you want to show about Fireman Ed with Woody Johnson. It is what it is. I said my piece.
All well said. Hey, I'll give you something positive, though. You're going to the game. Maybe you could get a hug from Woody Johnson. The power of friendship's going to save this team.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
I said, listen, he's a nice guy. You can't. Woody spends money. He's a nice guy, but man, the results are results.
Thinking is overrated.
So
So is winning.
I would let Chris Johnson talk. Honestly,
Ed, safe travels, my friend. Hang in there.
all the best, brother. Go Jets.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Fireman Ed in his weekly spot. Smash the like button. Make sure you guys over here hit that subscribe button. Again, thanks to everyone for helping us hit over 43,000 subscribers on the channel. We have more subscribers than there were fans at MetLife on Sunday. Trust me, I was there. Let's talk about the latest with the Jet trade deadline scenario. We will get to that in a moment, but let me get caught up on some super chats. And for those of you tuning in late, let's get some memberships going. How about a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey as the prize today? Right now, only 5 memberships have been gifted, and they were all gifted by Matt L., who's in the raffle for 5. Let's freaking go. Peter W. starts us off. He says, I can live with the Fields comments, but what the F did Woody mean by true Jet fans know what's going on? Was he insinuating that they're tanking and rebuilding, or that we know it's the same old Jets? See, that's the problem. Nobody knows what Woody means. And the problem is, Woody has no one in his life that could say, what are you doing? The only people surrounded Woody Johnson are yes men who try to defend his actions. He's a terrible owner. We can acknowledge that. And the only way it changes is if he looks into the people he hires, if they're any good. The problem is I have severe doubts on this new regime already. That's the issue. JT, Fireman Ed is going to Cincinnati. Where's the Jet tailgate? Hope to see you there. JT, Ed's going, and Gotham City Crew's going. Tailgate with them. Matt L says, like my mom used to say, I may not like you sometimes, but I'll always love you. Yeah, I mean, we get so upset at them because we care so much, 100%. I love the people who are like, especially the assholes on Twitter who know nothing about me. Go root for a different team. That's not how this works. You can never leave your team. I'm not going to sit here and blindly defend them. They don't deserve it. They have not won more than 7 football games in 10 years. They have the longest playoff drought in sports. Haven't won a division title in over 20 years. Haven't won a Super Bowl since before the moon landing. So please, F off. Go root for a different team. That's not how that works. Franzansky, thank you. I got you in the raffle for 2. $10 super chats get you in. Hollywood Rio says, nothing Woody or Aaron Glenn say will satisfy Jet Nation. Only wins will. Every word is judged until we win. Well, let me say this. Ultimately, yes, that's true. But Woody can't say what he said. What he should have said, and I said this on the show the day it happened, I know nobody wants to hear, be patient, but I believe in this regime, and we're doing everything in our power to turn things around. That's all you say. You back your regime, and you acknowledge how loyal your fan base is. We have the best fans in sports. I feel terrible. We have not delivered what they deserve, but we're doing everything in our power to change that. That's all you say. You don't do a 7-minute press conference where you shit on Justin Fields and make life harder for your head coach that you handpicked and hired. Andrew C. in the house. I love Ed. If you're a Jet fan, how do you not love Ed? He loves the team. Passion. He's going to Cincinnati on Sunday. He was already in Tampa this year. You couldn't pay me to go to another Jet game this year. I get offered free tickets every week from fans, and I say I'm going to donate them to my listeners who want to go. Colin in the raffle for 5. Hit it, Colin. Andrew C. wants to know where are the Charles Gorman, Daniel Jones raffles.
J-O-B, job.
What's funny is we had a bet over the summer. What happens first? The Jets get their first win or Bobby and Gorman get jobs? And all 3 have not happened at this point. Unbelievable. Hey, Clay Hobbs, I'm sick of your bullshit in the chat. Leave. Jet fans are the best in sports. Get out of here. Get a clue. Get a clue. Find me a better fan base that's been through more. That doesn't even have its own stadium. You can't. By the way, Of all the people who regularly comment on the show, there is nobody worse than Clay Hops 3335. Can't stand him. The worst. I would just like to shout that out. Can't stand the guy. I'd like to shout out everyone who supports this show on Patreon. Our most recent Patreon subscribers, Dan Mancini. Also a big shout out to William Arnold, Chris Scheiben, Peter Pins, Aaron Bagley, all joining the Patreon. Jacob says the Knicks got their first win before the Jets did. Every team in the NHL now has a win before the Jets, by the way. Every team. Honestly, the Knicks, the Knicks are, I mean, they could win tonight and have 2 wins before the Jets get a win. When are the Jets getting a win? If the Jets don't win Sunday, how many wins are the Knicks going to get before the Jets get a win, right? Because the Jets have the bye week now. So they can't win, or I guess technically lose. Although, if any team could find a way, might be the Jets. Troy writes in, free tickets next year if we go 0-17. I mean, what if I ran the Jets, and you guys know my position I want, director of common sense, what I would do for my season ticket holders the rest of the way, there's 4 home games left, I would do anything to make their experience better. Upgrade their seats, because you know there's going to be a lot of empty ones, right? Buy out some of the seats and give them to your diehard fans who've been there. Make parking free for them. $100 to park on Sunday, apparently. Ridiculous. Like, you don't need the money. They have plenty of money. All the money is not really even coming from the season ticket holders and all that. It's coming from the TV revenue and the ads they get and everything that goes with that. Do something for your season ticket holders. The Jets don't even offer their season ticket holders like a season ticket holder, like beginning of the year package like other teams do. The Jets give you like half off a bottle of wine. You have to pay them to get this crappy wine that's half off. Do something for your season ticket holders. That's what I would do. Show some fan appreciation in the midst of a season that many think could be 0-17. Cactus Johnny, short of a new owner, Jets need to hire a president of football ops to insert a layer between Woody and the head coach and GM. Woody can't be talking to the head coach every day. Why? You don't think that the hugs are going to work?
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
He hugs him every day. Andrew C. says, fan boat, Everglades, Gorman, Python, Hunter. Andrew C., thank you for whatever that means. Peter Castro says, Jake, Woody's not firing Glenn. Fields is his fall guy. Well, that's the fall guy for now, right? Woody blamed all the Jets' problems on Justin Fields. What happens if Tyrod starts and the offense still looks bad and they're still losing? When does Woody wake up and realize, that's why I think Glenn needs a win in the worst way. Because, like, the fall guy being Fields, well, you've now used the fall guy. Who's the next fall guy if nothing happens here? If no improvement is shown? That's the question we all should be asking. Who's the fall guy then? Let's get to the latest on the trade deadline now. This was from Connor Hughes of SNY. He wrote in yesterday on Twitter. Important to note on the Jets as the trade deadline approaches, this is not a fire sale. They have players who are available, as is usually the case when a new regime takes over. Any deal would be for fair Jets price, though not pennies on dollar. Teams continue to call on guys like Brees, JJ, McDonald, Michael Carter, Quinnen, Quincy, but that's the vibe they're getting from conversations. Some league sources wonder if there'll be more willingness from the Jets to give in negotiations if they fall to 0-8 with a loss to the Bengals. That's to be seen. What I don't understand is the last line in this tweet here. What is the difference between 0-8 and 1-7 at this point? You're not going to trade someone because you won a game against the Bengals? If someone's available at 0-7, they should be available at 1-7. That's the question. Frozansky says, Paying for parking is the worst insult. Like we could walk to the stadium, ? I mean, it's a joke. Curly says they give you a $20 concession credit. Is that for every game, Curly, they gave season ticket holders that last year? I mean, they got some nerve to raise the parking prices too and the season ticket prices too. If there's an increase this year, I'm not going to tell anyone how to fan. If you want to renew, you renew. But I don't see the point in being a season ticket holder. You're never getting a home playoff game. So it's not like you need to get face value at a home playoff game. This team never wins the division. Oh, they give you $20 for the entire season of concession credit? Oh, my God. $20 for the entire year. That's a joke. You should get it for every game, at least. Fan appreciation. The Jets don't give a fuck. That's the problem. Excuse my language. $20 for the entire year? You can't even get a beer with that. That's terrible. Not surprising, but that is terrible. I mean, that's the problem, though. It all starts with the lack of any common sense from ownership. That's why the job I want is director of common sense. Let's get to your calls. Appreciate everyone tuned in. If you missed it, we are giving away a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey at the end of the show. If you gift a membership or send it a $10 super chat or higher, you get raffle tickets for it. If you don't win the JJ jersey, then you automatically are entered in the weekly raffle Tuesday morning. Frazier signed jersey. Let's go, Knicks. Wayne Corbett signed football. CJ Mosley signed helmet among our prizes. To your calls we go. John M. will start us off today. Hey, John.
How's it going?
What's up, John?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good. Are you a first-time caller?
No, I called in before.
Okay. Well, welcome back.
Yeah. So I got 3 points for you, Jake. First of all, the Jets don't have a president of football operations. And a lot of this stuff just needs to be completely segregated from Woody and the business side of things. It's just ridiculous. So, Woody just has his hands in too many things, man, and he's just got to get out. I mean, he was the only NFL owner to talk at that meeting. He was the only one. I mean, he just got to shut up, man. Just shut up. So that's that. I mean, he's just he's a disaster. When it comes to like the trade deadline, don't you think it makes sense just to hold on to everybody? I mean, there's a couple of pieces you can move here and there. Like obviously Lazard, you trade him for a bucket of clams, Michael Carter, I mean, the scheme fit there is not, but a lot of these guys, I think their value is probably going to be more in the offseason than it is in midseason. Everybody's going to try to get one over on you. That's my opinion. Like Quinn Williams, you get a second. That's what Connor Hughes said. Come on.
No, you can't do it. I would only trade
Can't do
guys
it.
in the last year of their deal. And Quinnen, if you're going to deal him, there's an argument to be made. Maybe you should in the offseason, but you wait to the offseason and get more teams involved. You don't do it now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I think that most of these guys should just stay on the team. Just let them play out. And when it comes to Justin Fields, I don't know what happened to him, man. I mean, but truthfully, Garrett Wilson goes down, and what are you doing, man? You can't throw the ball. And then Garrett Wilson is double, triple covered. Some of these guys, I mean, some of the secondary guys are open, but you got a quarterback who just takes a really long time to throw the ball and get rid of it. So I don't think the offensive line should be blamed for any of that stuff. I don't think Breece Hall should be blamed. I mean, I don't even think they're using him correctly. I mean, how come he's not playing on 3 downs? He's like one of the best running back receivers last year. What happened? So it's like, I think it all starts with the quarterback. And I'm hoping that Tyrod is healthy enough to put a decent performance out on the field, man.
You know what concerns me, though, John, right?
Yeah.
I agree. There are problems, of course, beyond just, owner, coach, all that. Like the quarterback obviously has been terrible. But as bad as Fields has been, he's never been this bad. And that alarms me with this coaching staff. Because while we could point to Fields being the problem, he certainly is, he's also never had a stretch where he's been this terrible. So why is he playing this bad? And
can I make a point? Didn't they say in the beginning of the year that Justin Fields has never been given a chance to be a quarterback. Like they kind of gave him a little leeway on processing the field and making audibles and things like that. I mean, is he really doing a good job of doing that in some degree? Like, I don't know, man.
Well, that's my point, right? They puff their chest about how they're going to be the ones to get the most out of Fields, and it has failed spectacularly.
Yeah.
Why am I letting this new coaching staff, general manager, after they got their guy that they wanted, after they couldn't wait to get rid of Aaron Rodgers, why are we now letting them evaluate these quarterbacks and pick the one they want and then develop that one, given the fact that they have shown you no ability to be able to coach up any player on this team? There's no one that's playing better than what we have seen in the past, and everything they've said about what they were going to be able to do, they've done the total opposite.
Yeah, exactly. And, and again, you're going to get it to the offseason. There's nobody on the upper management that's going to be like, okay, these are the resources we need to make that decision to bring in a quarterback. It's just not there. And why? 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 Why do our scouting department is so small compared to other teams?
They've added to it. They've added analytics people. And honestly, the draft is, to me, not even like that big of a problem. You're supposed to hit on the 7th pick in the draft. They have. Taylor looks like a player. Malachi Moore looks decent. We'll see what AZ Thomas looks like this week, getting a chance to start.
Yeah.
Sauce. That's not the issue. It's just the personnel decisions. They completely misevaluated this roster. Like, why am I
100%?
That's the problem.
100%.
And they brought back a lot of guys that we all knew shouldn't have been brought back. And I mean, keeping Gibson alone cost them a win right now. So yeah. I have major problems with what we have seen. They get 10 games to show us something. Otherwise, they finish with 2 wins or less. They should clean house and start over. I don't even know if they will, though, because I think Woody is very egotistical, and I don't know if he wants to admit a mistake.
Yeah, I got one more point for you, Jake. I've been to a ton of Jet games. I refuse to pay $100 for parking. Come on. That's a joke. I go to these other stadiums. I watch Jet games in New Orleans, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Baltimore. The environment is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been to other stadiums, you know how it is. I mean, you look around, the Jets need their own stadium. I agree with Ed. We need our own stadium, but it's never going to happen.
No, I agree with you, John. Great call. Please call again soon. I agree with your points. They should have their own stadium. It's on the owner why they don't. I mean, he's had 25 years. He's on the team. Couldn't get a stadium. So, and what's sad about MetLife is you have 2 teams sharing it that are in the biggest media market in the world. It's crazy. Like, that's the best you could do for 2 billionaire franchises? Really? Banku writes in, our so-called superstar wide receiver hates Aaron Rodgers. Don't speak to him. Why bring him back? They don't have chemistry. These young players aren't ready for Rodgers. The idea that Garrett Wilson is happier now than he would have been if they kept Rodgers, I think is laughable. Plus, Garrett himself publicly said that stuff wasn't true. I think Garrett's frustrated like everyone else was last year. Ultimately, if you had a real coach, you get them on the same page, and it's all about winning games. But nope, couldn't do it. Oh, but Garrett would request a trade. And did Jamar Chase not request a trade too last year? They didn't trade him. Guess what? They paid him. I just think it's silly. But I'm glad Rodgers isn't here because it exposes just how bad this coaching staff is. Right? I don't think Aaron Rodgers would have been able to solve this. I think they would have a couple more wins right now for sure, but they wouldn't be in position with a winning record like he is in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got a real coach. Like, I think it would have been a mess, and all the people who hate Rodgers, they would have blamed him for why they're not winning, like they tried to do last year, and it would have delayed the inevitable, where then Glenn would have got a chance to pick his quarterback. He still might, but at least now there's hope that if they go 0-17, he won't. Or if they win 3 games or less, he won't. I don't know. Once again, Woody blamed the 0-7 record on Fields. Fields is not going to play in all likelihood Sunday. So If this offense remains terrible, if the defense regresses again all of a sudden, right? Now that they're playing high-powered offense, what happens? What is that? What like this to me is going to get worse. I don't think we've hit rock bottom yet. I really don't. Big fella says Curtis Martin should be the president of football ops. I would like that too. I have no idea if that was even contemplated, though. Hey, Curtis Martin has been working for the league office. He's been trying to get into NFL ownership. It make a lot of sense. Franchise legend. Woody would have to respect him. Eli Bet says, I take a country club vibe over this clown show. Yeah, I mean, that's what's really sad about all this is I think Glenn came in and he said everything you would want a new head coach to say and try and improve and work on. It just hasn't worked. You know, like that's like he sold us on things that have just not come to fruition and not even close. They're not improving anywhere. They're not. Tell me one thing right now that Aaron Glenn does well as a head coach. Can we point to one thing? He doesn't call plays. He really doesn't hold guys accountable. That was a bunch of BS. If he did, Justin Fields would have been benched in the London game. There would have been a consequence for Michael Clemens. I mean, people are in the chat have nailed it. He dances well. Okay. They won some challenges. That's good enough for me. All right. Some of you out there love to celebrate moral victories, so I'll give it you. I'll give you what you want.
I'm gonna do my silly dance, cause we're built like shit. What kind of a question is that? We have the moral victories. My team has no wins. No wins.
I mean, he calls other coaches before he makes any sort of decision. I mean, seriously, we all want Glenn to be the guy, but it's like, what can we say he actually has done a good job at so far? Like, that's the problem. And this team has players on it. They're not the worst team in the NFL roster-wise, not even close. Why are they the only team in the league without a win? They're more talented than Tennessee. They're more talented than Miami. They're more talented than New Orleans. Going into the year, the Jets roster was ranked ahead of the Cleveland Browns for sure. Ahead of the Giants roster, ahead of Vegas. Like, it's bad right now, folks. $25 says, Jamar Chase for 2+ tutties feels like a lock. If you're going to bet it with FanDuel. We'll do some over-unders with Nick Faria at 4:15 on our second stream today. But it's a football Friday. 25 just entered for a chance to win a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey. If you win, I might even send it out today. I have it right here in my hand. So if you want a chance to win that and support the channel, make sure you enter. Let's get to more of your calls before we wrap this baby up. Doug on his bed is next. Hello, Douglas.
Good morning, Jake. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Doug. How are you?
Good. Real quick, before I get into my Jet stuff, you tweeted about it earlier in the week in the Boston area. Marty Lyons is having a fundraiser for the foundation. He'll be at Tap 151. It's in Cambridge. If you're in the Boston area, it's right off the Green Line, right off the Lake Tremere stop. I do have some of the raffle items if I could share them, if you don't mind, Jake.
Please do. Absolutely. But we love Marty's foundation, and shout out to the Boston Jets Club.
So there are a couple of Jets games that there are raffle tickets for, but like, do you really want that? But you could go to the Thursday night game in New England and watch the Jets probably lose, or you can go to the other Jets-Patriots game in MetLife and also probably watch them lose. You can go golfing with Marty Lyons and Matt Avellino, who's the president of the Marty Lyons Foundation. And there's a bunch of cool other prizes. There's signed Marty Lyons jerseys. There's signed CJ Mosley football. Well, it's a Ravens one and a Jets one, which I found interesting. And a bunch of other cool stuff. If you want to check it out, go to Boston Jets Fan Club's social media, or the Marty Lyons Foundation, I'm sure, has stuff about it as well. And if you're in the Boston area, go to Tap 151 on Sunday. We start around 12:30. It's the Boston Jets Fan Club. It's a good time. I know the games haven't been that fun this year, but we still managed to have a good time.
Doug, enjoy it. I know it's a great event. Marty's the man. Shout out to everyone involved in the Boston Jets Club. Now I know you have some Jets points.
Yeah, man, this stuff sucks. I just it's crazy how you say fans aren't smarter than the owners, and the people running teams, but are we? Because we have eyes, we see what happens every Sunday, and it's just why it's at this point it's insanity. They're doing the same thing and expecting a different result, and it's just not working. And we all see it as fans, and Woody says the fans know what's going on, but does he know that we actually do, or is he just saying that to try and save face? And I agree. Fields was obviously the problem, but you can't throw him under the bus like that and just make the job harder for Aaron Glenn. It just, I expected it to be competitive and just this season. I thought I couldn't be disappointed in this season, and here I am disappointed in just how pitiful we are as a team this year.
Yeah, I mean they have been progressively worse since week 1. That was their best performance, especially offensively. Obviously, they look well coached that day. Looked like they had a real plan. And since then, they've been an unmitigated disaster, and we got to call it as for what it is.
I was saying if this team goes 3-14 or worse, and all the games look the same, how can you look your fans in the face and say, you know what, let's run this thing back, and expect them to pick the franchise quarterback and do all these things? You just can't do it. You really can't. If it looks the same, it does. And we go 2-15, 3-14, 1-16. How can you look your fans and say, you know what, we're going to run it back, and expect your fans to like what's going on? You're going to lose everyone in the fan base. It's just, you can't, I don't want them to be one and done. I don't think anyone's rooting for it to happen, but it's sometimes it needs to happen. I don't think the Patriots, look what happened with Mayo. They knew they had to be done, and now they have Vrabel. So I think you just need stability. You got to get an experienced head coach if this doesn't work. And I'm just tired of the losing in uncompetitive football. I just want competitive football too. I was listening to Badlands. You just need to get to someone to get you to 9-8 at this point and hope it breaks the streak. You just need competency, and it's just something we haven't had in a while, and it's frustrating.
I agree. I mean, they're and that's why when I use the term they're in hell, they got to get out of hell. Forget who the coach is to get them to a Super Bowl, right? You need a coach that could just come in, he could do the job and get them out of this just mess that they're in. Just a winning season, for the love of God.
I've been sour on the idea of Mike McCarthy for the past years, but at this point, he's a guy who will look at the Cowboys did in the regular season under him. We would take that in a heartbeat. So he's a guy. He's an
offensive guy. That's the whole point.
He knows what he's doing. He's respected in the league, and it's someone who can just get you level and make you competent again, and be the bridge coach. That's and then get the guy you think can put you over the edge. You just need that competency that we haven't had since the Rex years.
Completely agree. I just, I wouldn't count on it. That's the bottom line.
No, you're just it sucks because I think for a lot of the people who are as maniacs, the Jets are our favorite teams too. I like other teams, but the Jets are my number one.
And they ruined my love of football too.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's hard to a lot of times to watch these games after the Jets play, and you feel like, wow, the Jets are playing a different sport. They're so far away.
It's I would kill for what the Giants have right now. Yeah, they're losing, but at least their games are competitive and entertaining. Our games,
and you have hope because you have a legit quarterback. You feel like you got something that you're building on it.
Sitting there watching the Jets Panthers game the other day, I was just this is miserable. It was uncompetitive. Well, it wasn't entertaining. There was nothing going on. It was just why am I sitting here wasting 3 hours on a Sunday watching this team? And you can't give up on this team. I never would. And it's just so frustrating.
Doug, I'll tell you what. This Sunday things could start to change, though. You want to know why?
Why?
The power of friendship.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
That's what you have to take into account, folks. The other thing is this: if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So I present to you this.
For me personally, being able to ask other coaches that have been in the situation, how would they handle that?
Speaking of laughs, here's a message from Beastbreaker's father.
Beastbreaker, son, I am so proud of what you accomplished in life. I wish I could visit more. I raised you right, I see. Hot hit! Hot! 42! Hike!
Now we're joined live by the Beast himself, who appears to be in the great outdoors. Beast, are you there? Beast?
Got a sore back right now.
What are you doing?
I'll be all right. Work. I'm trying to line this place up, making it look like MetLife Stadium here. Now let me get back. Now let's try and clean up the rest of this crap and then finish up and then get my pay.
Are you
thing is,
feeding
I need another
squirrels?
basket for you.
What are you doing?
No work.
You're lawn mowing?
That's right. Everybody's got to pay the piper. We fine.
Why are you so out of breath?
You try doing this, and you gotta go through humps and humps and humps and humps, and then it's like, and then it takes a real toll on your back. And then the cold weather, not the funnest in the world. Just think of it this way.
But wait a second, aren't you just lawn mowing? Like, what is the situation here? What am I not following?
Gotta make the money. I need to make the money.
But why are you out of breath? You just have to walk.
No, you gotta also pick up the waste. Then you also gotta blow it off and then get it in position and get rid of it.
Okay,
that's how.
I'm happy you're working, Beast. But I thought you were retired. Can you explain to me why you're working? Are you out of retirement now?
No, but I only do this for fun because why? It's better than sitting around watching TV.
You don't need the money though. You're just doing it for fun.
Hey, I'd rather do this for fun than sit around and do nothing. Take the good with the bad, and remember, Jesus loves you, and so does everybody.
Spencer Green says, "Get your big ass to work." You calling in and BS, get to work, you big bastard.
It's time to go shut the fuck up and be a man and go eat a donut.
Wait a second.
Do your part.
If you're a man, are you saying being a man means eating a donut?
Yeah, that's right. Most men do it all the time, even at construction work or on break. I'm gonna try as much as I can to get up as much yard waste. Then I'm gonna do my thing. Enjoy the rest of this day, and remember, JETS, Jets. Just remember, don't you turn your back on us, or we'll find you.
All right, Beast. Thank you. Anyone have any donuts for me to have? What a show. Beast is the only one currently on hold right now. So if you want in on the conversation, now is the time. Here's what we know about the Jets. They're the only team in the league without a win. So when I see this stuff from Connor Hughes, that some league sources wonder if there'll be more willingness for the Jets in negotiations if they fall to 0-8 with a loss to the Bengals, that's to be seen. I mean, I just don't see the difference between 0-8 and 1-7. If you're going to not trade someone because you won a game against the Bengals when you're already winless through 7 weeks, that to me is silly. Anyone have a donut for me? I want to be a man. I'll give you my address. Message me off air. Uber me. Grubhub me. Uber Eats me some donuts. Man, more of your calls right now. And since no one else is on the line, let's watch a man work hard.
Off. Yard waste. Go. Ready. Aim. Contact. 3, 2, 1. Contact.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
All right, actual football news. Thank you for your passion for lawn mowing, Beast. Film that and let us all see greatness. Aaron Glenn speaking moments ago, officially ruled out Sauce and Garrett Wilson. Last week was the first game that Garrett Wilson ever missed in his career, as expected, because Justin Fields threw him a hospital ball in London. He will miss another game. So I'm sure Garrett will be back after the bye week against Cleveland. Sauce is in concussion protocol. You very rarely clear that after just a week. So Sauce will have all this week, entire bye week, and then all the days leading up to that game against Cleveland on November 9th. Tyrod Taylor, Josh Reynolds, Mason Taylor, Breece Hall, all questionable, but he likes how they're trending, especially Tyrod. They followed up on that. Aaron Glenn is declining to answer pretty much any question about who is playing quarterback or his approach to practice this week. Also, the Jets press conference is off to a disastrous start as far as those trying to watch it online. That's why I can't air it live. There was like a black screen and every other word was going in and out like it's a Ricky NY call. Literally, Glenn's presser was like an episode of The Sopranos, the finale. Just went to black. Unmitigated disaster. Right? I can give you guys a little Aaron Glenn, though, because I know how to use technology well. So I'm currently pulling a clip from our friends at SNY where Glenn is discussing the goals for this week. I'm sure one of them is maybe score a touchdown. That'd be nice. Ladies and gentlemen, Let's hear from the head coach of the only winless team in the National Football League. Here's Aaron Glenn.
So this week, there's been a focus of really three things for us. And I can see this being the focus going forward to the end of the season. Number one is, man, how do we plan and make sure we download this plan against this team to go and beat this team? Next now is taking that plan and executing on the field in practice to make sure we go and beat this team. And then also, man, how do we improve? How do we get 1% better as a team collectively to make sure we go play supportive football? And that's been our plan. That's been our focus. That's going to continue to be our focus. We know that we have to do a good job of planning and executing. We also have to do a good job of improving as a team.
Did anyone ask Glenn if they had a good week of practice this week? No team's better Wednesday through Friday than the New York Jets. Aaron Glenn said there was a game when he was the Lions DC where the Packers wouldn't announce their quarterback that week, and Glenn thought it gave Green Bay a competitive advantage. Why, he said he doesn't understand why everyone's so confused about the approach he's taking. I kind of hope Fields starts on Sunday because I've given up on this team actually winning. So I kind of want the funniest storyline. Give me Justin Fields starting Sunday just for the laughs. The owner says if we could just complete a pass, we'd be good. Then Glenn goes back to Fields anyway. That'd be great.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
What would those hugs be like this week? Anyway. Let's get to some calls before we wrap up the show. We got some good callers on the line. Rooster will start us off this segment. Hello, Rooster.
How you doing, Jake? How's everything?
What's up, Rooster?
This is my first time calling in. I've been on the podcast now for about 5 months. And
welcome aboard. You're in the raffle for being a first-time caller. Appreciate it.
Let me tell you, you've done an unbelievable job. We used to, I'm 53. I remember this Jets Insider Forum that we used to read. And what you've kind of done is brought that form to life with the characters that come on each week and are the Jet fans. It's really unbelievable.
Well, thank you, Rooster. I appreciate that. I say it all the time. This fan base is special. I talk about this team for 4 hours a day, year round. I don't think there's too many teams in the world you could do that for, let alone a team that has not made the playoffs in 15 years. So it's all because of the great fans who tune in.
Yeah, listen, I give you credit, but let's cut to the chase with the Jets. There were so many warning signs with Glenn, how he handled Rodgers, some of his demeanor on the sideline during the Giants game. I felt he was just standing there not knowing what he was doing. But the biggest thing with the Jets is if you really sit down right now, I said it yesterday in a super chat, it's Woody Johnson and Aaron Glenn running this organization. How can that possibly be? There is no way in anyone's mind in the world is comfortable with Aaron Glenn and Woody Johnson. Those two gentlemen are the final decision makers of everything. Aaron Glenn is having a hard enough time trying to coach. Now you're telling me he is running this organization with Darren Mucci, a first-time GM, as his assistant? It can't work. No matter what we do, no matter what happens, let's say he ends up winning 3-4 games and he's your head coach next year. He's the decision maker. What right does he have to be in charge of the whole franchise? I get it. You want to name him coach, but there should be someone running him. How could there not be? How could there not be somebody running Aaron Glenn?
I agree.
I can't fathom it.
Well, that was my whole thing, Rooster, right? And I agree with you. It's one thing to hire Glenn. My big thing was, if you're going to hire a first-time head coach, can the GM be someone who's been a GM before and had success? What's the justification for Thomas Dimitroff not being the general manager right now, right? Someone who's been to a Super Bowl, built the team. He inherited a 2-win team that was coming off the Michael Vick scandal, turned that team around, went to a Super Bowl, hired not one but two coaches who made it to the playoffs. Quinn's a guy who went all the way to the Super Bowl, drafted Matt Ryan. That's a guy that he'd be there to support Aaron Glenn, who's learning on the job as a head coach, and they'd work great together. I just don't understand, once again, having two new guys in roles they've never been in, learn on the job, and Woody once again paying millions of dollars for them to learn on the job. And quite frankly, in the case of the head coach, really look overwhelmed and in over his head at that job.
Just the things he's done in the first 7 weeks, you can't make it up. Like, you just can't make it up. And the one that's really bothered me is sending Braylon Allen to return that fucking kick. And I get it. He was like, you know what? I'm going to get him his hand on the ball. I'm going to get his confidence back. With these new rules, these kick returners are, they're getting cracked. Why would you send a guy who is that important to your offense to return that kick? He blows his knee out, and it's like we had 3 weapons really to begin with. We had Braylon Allen, Breece Hall, and Garrett Wilson, and he put one to return a kick. He got it. It just, everything this guy does is shocking. It just doesn't make sense. I've seen it all with these Jets. I was at the game when Testaverde blew his Achilles out. My buddy next to me, shout out to Brian Dursevitz, said, "Oh, it's just a cramp." I'm like, I don't think that's a cramp when they're fucking carrying the guy off the field. Then I took my son. He's a senior at Syracuse. He drove in from Syracuse for the opening Aaron Rodgers game. I said, "Buddy, don't do it." I said, "Trust me. Watch the game at school. Go to the bars after. You're bringing a lot of hurt in." Well, we know what happens. I look over. I see a little tear coming down my little buddy's eye. And he goes, "What just happened?" I'm like, "Welcome. This is what happened. Aaron Rodgers, this is the Jets. This is what we are." We can't break it until someone comes in to run this organization. Woody Johnson cannot have this anymore. GM, coach. This doesn't work. There needs to be president, GM, coach. President hires the GM, the coach is under the GM. That's it. It has to be done. Why wouldn't Woody do it? I just don't understand. Why wouldn't Woody do it? Why wouldn't he hire a president, not the guy he's got in now, is not a football guy, to run this organization? You had this great organization in New York. You floundered for 30 years. Why wouldn't he do it? It doesn't make sense to me. We're going to have the number 1 or 2 pick. And I don't care if Aaron Glenn wins 10 games. Get him the fuck out of here. He stinks. We know he's not winning 10 games. This is the most important pick, maybe in our lifetime. Honestly, a number 1 pick with a quarterback. We had to take Keyshawn in 96, whenever that was. A number 1 pick. You cannot win in the NFL without a quarterback. Period. End of discussion. The only thing I want, and I love you, Jake. I think you've been unbelievable. I want to push back a little. I do think this year was a semi-tank. And let me explain. I know what Aaron Glenn said. I know he stood up there and said, we're going to win games. He's a fucking liar, okay? And he's an idiot for saying it like that. But the offseason showed you it was a little bit about tanking. They signed Stevens. He's a young kid that they thought could be here for 3 to 4 years. They gave $30 million to Justin Field. That was a roll of the dice, and he could always been your backup. But what else did they do?
They split Rodgers' cap hit over 2 years. They split C.J. Mosley's
cap hit. I
cap
don't
hit.
understand.
They traded for a veteran in Harrison Phillips. They traded for Jawan Briggs over the summer. Like, they were half pregnant. They didn't commit fully to a rebuild, and they made moves that signify they thought they were going to be able to win games and be competitive. They kept a lot of the same players that have been on this team because they thought, oh, they had the lead 7 times in the fourth quarter last year. Watch us be able to take these same guys that couldn't close, and we're going to coach them up. Well, this was not a tank job. They're just really bad at their jobs.
I don't think I don't want to say it's a tank job. I think it was a hedge job. Is that a way to look at it? I think they were hedging a little, and that's the worst way to go into the NFL. I just think Aaron Glenn, you want to keep him, hire him a PR person. How do you let this guy speak every day? Honestly, do you hear him speak every day?
Oh, wait till you hear what I'm about to play when I get
done. No, the quarterback thing yesterday, me and my buddies were just like, it's enough. I could play quarterback. I'd rather have a Harrison High School senior quarterback than any of these 2 guys. What do you think Cincinnati's worried about? You think they're fucking worried about but why does he says it?
I think they are. Zach, I heard, Rooster, Zach Taylor has been unable to sleep this entire week, not knowing if he's going to go up against a mobile quarterback who can't complete a pass versus one who sometimes might.
I mean, why is it this bad? I've seen bad. I've always said like the rock bottom. It's always This is the worst. I mean, they're not watchable right now. They're unwatchable with this guy.
He's got 10 games to show us something. Otherwise, I agree. He should go.
I'm going to say one more thing because the Jet fan on Monday is angry. He's miserable. He's fighting. On Tuesday, I look at my wife. I'm still not talking to her. On Wednesday, who are we playing again? And come Sunday, I don't give a shit who it is. I want to win the fucking game. I agree with you. Get the pick right. It doesn't matter where you pick. Get the pick right. And on Sunday, win a football game. You know what? Winning is everything. That's one thing Tom Thibodeau taught the Knicks. And I loved him for it. I'm gonna get. I hope Mike Brown, he looked great. Tom Thibodeau taught this team that every night you go out, you want to fucking win.
Yep.
And there's nothing more. And the Jets haven't done that. They don't win.
No. And Glenn was supposed to change that perception and teach him how to win and show him what needs to be done. And there's not one thing this team does better than last year's team. And last year's team I thought was the worst coach team in the league. And this team is just as bad, if not worse.
And if we can't get that, if Harborough you have to bring an offensive guy.
Correct.
He's choosing a quarterback. The kid, Kubiak's kid. Where's he at? Where's Kubiak's son? Is that Atlanta? No. The offensive coordinator.
Seattle, right? Isn't
he Seattle? Yeah. Kubiak's kid. He's got the pedigree. I need someone.
Joe Brady with Buffalo, but I want someone with experience. Get Kevin Stefanski, get Mike McCarthy, give Cliff Kingsbury a check and say, pick your quarterback and develop him. Like that's what they need to do.
You're going to choose. They have to choose. This is too big. I can't have Aaron Glenn choose his quarterback. I can't do it. I agree. I can't do it.
Rooster, great. Can you call more? Excellent. Great call. Great call. You're in Westchester, right? You said Harrison?
Harrison, New York. Westchester.
I love it.
Thank you for your time. Great show, by the way. Love it.
Rooster, email me your address, your T-shirt size. I want to send you and your son some merch for supporting the show. All right.
Thank you, buddy.
You got it. Rooster, great call. Unfortunately, this is going to make Rooster mad. This is Aaron Glenn being asked about his quarterback plan for this week.
What was a game today could Tyrod Taylor physically play?
He is limited, all right, today, and he is questionable, and I like the way those guys are trending.
So are you able to tell us who's going to? Can you tell?
I cannot tell you that.
But is it because you don't want to, or because?
That's exactly it.
But with Tyrod's situation questionable, doesn't that play into this potentially?
That's exactly why I'm not telling you, because I don't want to.
No, but I understand that. But I mean, is it partly because of the injury?
That's exactly why I'm saying it, because I don't want to.
Does the
I don't know how many times I got to answer you that. It's not going to change.
Do the players know who the quarterback is?
That's going to be between me and the players.
Man, I hope they win, because if they don't, Aaron Glenn's going to be ripped to shreds by this fan base, man. He's going to be memed badly. Right? You put this act on who the quarterback is, and let's say it is Tyrod and makes no difference whatsoever. Aaron Glenn's going to hear it from this fan base, even the ones who like the Ricky and Wise of the world who want to defend him. Like it's bad, man. Like come on, what are we doing here? Like I hope he gets a win, because if not, this whole BS like fakakta, I'm not going to tell you who our quarterback is.
We will have a quarterback on Sunday.
We're going to have a quarterback Sunday. That's all I'm going to tell you. Like, people are going to be out for blood on Aaron Glenn if they go into the bye week at 0-8. And if they're going to lose, right? Because I don't think they're going to win. Whoever he plays at quarterback, and I still think it's going to be Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod has to give them competent quarterback play, even if they don't win. Like, he's got to give them a chance. Like, they got to score some points here if they're not going to win. Otherwise, he's going to get loud for this coach the next 2 weeks. It just is. You can't play this game when you're 0-7. And then you're talking about a competitive advantage, and then you go out there and you don't score a touchdown for the third game in a row. You finish with 10 points. Like, all right, let's play games. I hope it wins, because people are going to be coming for Glenn if it doesn't work. While we were playing, that Beast just ran into his own home and crushed it. So hopefully everything is okay. Let's get to your last remaining calls. But first, some super chats here I want to get into. Big fella wrote in. Jake, I love the Asmaniac banner edition's awesome. Thank you, big fella. I said to Gator, we got to update it. We added a bunch more. More of your calls now, shall we? One of the greats is on the line. We call him around here Mike D's Nuts.
D's nuts.
What's up, Mike?
What up, Jake? How we doing, brother?
I'm hanging in, man. Hope you're doing okay.
Hey, man. Today's a good day, man. I'm doing all right, man. Thanks for asking. I don't know. Beast has got me thinking about donuts right now, so
Hey, if you want to be a man, you got to eat donuts, according to him.
Dude, I'm thinking about a Boston cream right now, for real. He's got me hungry. I don't really got much, man. I just want to say the one word that's been coming to my mind is just numb. I'm just numb right now. Like, I don't even get upset anymore. I don't even get like too up or too down. I kind of go into every Sunday just almost, it's like a car crash. You can't look away. You know what I mean? And I'm just numb to it, dude. Like, I just go in there expecting the worst now. And Glenn is such a joke. Like, what you just played, it makes no sense to be doing this right now. No sense at all.
I mean, look, they're going to have a quarterback Sunday. Isn't that what we want?
We will have a quarterback on Sunday.
You know what I mean? Like, he's playing games that he doesn't need to play, and he's just making himself look worse and worse. And I can't listen to the guy anymore. Like, he spits out bullshit every single time. Like, he's worse than Salah. You know, I just can't even listen to his press conferences anymore.
He's definitely worse than Salah to this point. Like,
Yeah.
Salah in his first year never had the clock. The Salah's team won 4 games, which Glenn I don't think is going to get to this year. And 2, Salah obviously had a way worse roster. And 3, Salah never had these clock blunders that Glenn's had. Like, Salah had his mistakes, sure, that we could question. It was never this bad. I mean, what Aaron Glenn did in London was the worst coach game I've ever seen by any Jet coach.
Me and my wife were screaming at the TV, like, what the hell is going on? Like, you go for it on fourth down with the fake, and then you just let the clock run out, and you're just showing a loser mentality. He's almost like he's coaching not to lose instead of coaching to try to win. You know, it's just so backwards. And I think at this point, if he hasn't already, he's lost that locker room. Like, I don't think the players believe in him one bit. You know, and that's a scary thing.
I question everything right now, Mike. I mean, they're the only team without a win. They've been non-competitive in most of their games outside the first one when the offense had no film on them to that point. And I think teams adjusted. And I worry about Engstrand beyond the head coach. I think the OC could be a problem too. And we're going to let him handpick and develop a quarterback. Like, that's the problem.
Yeah, that's been my worry. Is like, I know our past draft was pretty good. We got some pretty decent players, but do we trust them going forward to pick the right guys with such a valuable pick? Like, I know we say it every year, and this is the biggest draft in however many years, but this truly is. You know, if you're going to be getting a top 2-3 pick, or, you know, a quarterback that's going to change the franchise, I don't know if those are the guys to make that decision, you know?
Right.
So, and, you know, we're getting made fun of now on, like, national news shows at the end. You know what I mean? It's just sad.
I mean, look, I think you look at where this team is at, Mike. I don't think there's been a worse point in their history. Seriously. I mean, maybe just like Kotite led the Parcells. Maybe this leads to the number 1 pick and a coach that could develop that pick and they turn it around. But at least for this year, I don't think we've even hit rock bottom. I think this is going to get uglier.
And that kid that's in that video saying he hates the Jets, dude, that's my son. Coming home from work, he's like, Dad, I hate this team.
Right.
He took his jersey off and threw it on the floor. He said, Dad, I hate this team. Why'd you do this to me? And I genuinely feel terrible.
It is, because it's literally 15 years of being bad. So that's an entire generation that has seen nothing but losing. And like, when I was that kid's age, let's assume that kid is like, 13 years old. He's a teenager. Like, the Jets made the playoffs 6 times when I was growing up watching them. Like, they were not they were not a joke franchise. Like, they frustrated us, but they had success. They went to the playoffs. They won games. They had winning seasons. Like, this team, outside of a handful of years during the last 15 years, is usually irrelevant by the time you get to the end of October. This year, it was September. They're usually never alive after Thanksgiving. They've had 1 winning season in the last 10 years alone. Like, it's a joke. It's a disgrace.
my 21-year-old son's bright spot is the Fitzpatrick year. That's it. He doesn't even remember the Rex days because he was only like 6 years old at that point. So that's all he has to go on is the Fitzpatrick year as like our bright spot, and that's sad.
I mean, it's bad right now, Mike. There's really nothing to point to.
All right. Well, I just wanted to give a call in. I know I haven't called in a bit. Shout out to the Asmaniacs, and let's see what happens Sunday, man. Appreciate your time, Jake.
Hang in there, Mike. Always good to hear from you, my friend.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Maybe the power of friendship will lead us to a win Sunday, perhaps. I don't know. Mickey says Glenn's the biggest joke this organization ever had. I won't go that far yet, but I mean, it's bad right now, folks. We could try and sugarcoat it. I think it's ridiculous if we try to do that right now. Let's just be honest about what we're watching. I hope it gets better. I do. I don't want Aaron Glenn's Jet legacy to be stained, but it's going to be. This team is not awful talent-wise. There's players on this team. Are they a great team? No. Are they a playoff team? No. Should they be this inept? They haven't scored a touchdown in 2 weeks. They haven't scored a first-half touchdown since the opener. Some of you need to wake up and stop defending garbage. Beastbreaker writes in, my back hurts. I'd imagine it hurt. You ran through your house. Andrew C. says AFC champions back-to-back. When? In 2009-10, they went to they were AFC finalists. Right? Like, what are we talking about? All right, it's been bad for a while. Last chance to get in on the Jermaine Johnson signed jersey. I'm shocked we don't have more memberships. There's been only 10 gifted. I'm going to gift one right now and give someone a chance to win that prize. Stand by, people. I'm gifting one right now to this epic community that still cares about a team that hasn't made the playoffs since 2010. One membership has just been gifted by yours truly. The power of friendship.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
And it's the big fella who got the membership. Hell yeah. Well deserved by one of the greats. Big fella in the raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to your remaining calls. Today's closer is Black Gypsy. Hello, Mr. Gypsy.
What up, Jake? I just noticed in the calls, so many of us have gray hairs. Like, there's so many of Jets callers that call in with gray hairs, just disappointed in what we're seeing. And it's just nuts because it just shows you how long we've been a joke franchise. But hearing him on I don't want to hear him speak anymore because in the first part of that press conference, what he basically told us was, we have never had a plan. Like, we've just been winging it. Like, we sort of had something, and we're going to see if that works. But he said, literally, we're going to try and figure out how we can beat this team this week. So what were you doing the other weeks? Like, we're going to come up with a plan to try and beat this team this week. So he said that now. So that would infer that there was no plan before or not a good plan before. All right, we'll say not a good plan. So now that they're planning to do something, and we don't know who our quarterback is. We know we have a quarterback, though. That's nice to know. And
I was concerned they might try and just line up,
running back.
Austin McNamara will play quarterback this week.
I want to see, because he told us now we have a plan. Like, he put his foot in his mouth. We have a plan. Now, if this game is a shit show, I think he just stamped his we're done. Because if you have a plan this week, it's either Brady Cook starting, Tyrod Taylor starting, or Fields is starting. Like, as a team right now, the only two players that's going to give us any kind of gleaming of hope, whether we win or lose, is Tyrod Taylor or Brady Cook. Like, Brady Cook could actually extend him a little bit because if the kid sucks, he can blame it on him because they're blaming it on Fields right now. But we have a plan. Remember, Jake, we have a plan. So
that's
now
why they better not be embarrassed on Sunday, because if you think it's if you think the discourse is bad now, you pull this stunt with the quarterback all week, and then the offense still looks like dog crap. Like,
And you have a plan. You told us you have a plan. So now I'm watching this game on Sunday, and I want to see what the plan is. I want to see what Angstrom planned. I want to see Glenn and talking to Ang. I want to see, like, another thing that bothers me about him, he doesn't really seem like a coach, because I like the coaches like a Ben Johnson or the guy from Minnesota. I like seeing coaches cover up their mouth and just say something. I don't care if you're saying your mom sucks in the background. Like, just cover your mouth up and say something to make it look like you're doing something. Because when you're losing and you're just standing there with fucking dumb face on, it just makes us more pissed off. It just pisses us off even more because you're not doing anything.
hey,
You're
real quick,
just,
how do I get a Black Gypsy Garage hoodie?
I'll send you one. All my customers get them.
I just sent you your shirt that you won, the Woody Johnson. If we could just complete a pass shirt, I want a Black Gypsy Garage.
I got you.
Hoodie.
So
I'll rep it on the show.
All my customers get them, and they have. I don't know if you guys can see it. I have a logo on the back.
Oh, that's sick. Wait, what do you do, Black Gypsy? I don't even know what you do.
I build electric cars, golf carts, and conversions.
Oh, hell yeah. I want a Black Gypsy Garage hoodie then. That's awesome.
Yeah, I got you. So yeah, basically, and what's funny is people are saying that Wilkes' defense has been good. They've been better. They've been much better.
He deserves credit for that, but let's see what it looks like now against
I'm
high-powered
the first person to say it. When you had a good game, I was like, you had a good game. I want to see how, because now you have Sauce gone. You really have to scheme this defense up to try and stop chasing Higgins. You really have to be in your bag of play calls to try and stop him, because Flacco's going to air him out. And Flacco can throw a slant. So our defense isn't great against slants. So let's see. I just want to see a plan. Like, if you said it now, you put it in words, it's not recorded. I want to see a plan, because if there is no plan, like, what else is there? If you tell us you're going to do something and then you don't do it, we cannot believe in you. I don't want him getting rid of I don't want him hitting any of our players that we have. Like, it's that bad to me where, like, I think this is the worst through 7 games I've ever seen any NFL team play in my time. When Minnesota was losing and Cleveland was losing, their games would be semi-exciting, but they would lose. They would score some points. Us not being able to score points, it's so depressing to watch. Like, as the game goes along, you just feel worse and worse and worse. So you hit that point where you're like, I'm gonna go do something else. Like, fuck this game. But somehow we still have to sit and finish to see how bad it's literally a disaster waiting to happen. Like, it's
a car accident. Hey, I'm hosting a watch party for it, baby. I can't wait. Benigno will be there. We're gonna commiserate all together. I mean, we know the Jets are this bad. You might as well just embrace the clown circus of it all.
At least the Asmaniacs are going to be there. And I was thinking about something that you said about what can he do for the ticket holders or the people that are still coming to the games. Like, discount those tickets massively. Make them $5 tickets. Like cut
Give
parking.
Them free parking, free food. Like, show you care. Show you care.
This is for us. For you to raise the price and then be worse is offensive. Correct. Like, it's super offensive, and people keep on going. And you're talking about Fields and the head coach or the owner. Like, talk about that. Like, I'm sorry our team is this bad. We're going to make it up to our fans. We're going to give you something so it doesn't hurt as bad, because right now it just hurts on every level. Like, you have no reprieve. Like, at the game's over, you're mad, and then Monday you hear every network person or anchor just shit on how bad our team is, and then you have to live with it the rest of the week, and you go through the stages of grief where you don't believe at first, and then you believe towards the end. Like, it's been through all my fandom of any team I've ever rooted for, and I'm a Knicks and a Nets fan from when I was in Jersey. Like, I've never felt so bad for a team. I've never felt so bad for players on a team that just, because if I'm a player on that team, how do you get me up to play these games? Like, if you don't have a planner, like, it's just mind blowing to me, because, like, he came in with such gravitas, and then now I can't answer a question about who my quarterback is, but we have a quarterback. All right, cool. We have a plan.
The great Black Gypsy. Hey, power of friendship will change things, right? Like you and I. I'm going to be rocking a Black Gypsy Garage hoodie soon. I can't wait.
I got you. In the email, send me your address, and I'll send you one.
I will. Ladies and gentlemen, he's one of the greats. Black Gypsy.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
I'm going to give Black Gypsy a hug whenever I meet him. A couple membership shout-outs here. They came flying off the shelves here. Big fella got a membership from me, and he's like, I'm gifting 10 right back to the community.
We got the three dumbest morons on here: Mo, Larry, and Curly.
And your name is Shitty.
Speaking of Curly Norman gifted one to enter the Jermaine Johnson raffle, as did Green Gang, who sent in a 5 spot.
For me personally, being able to ask other coaches that have been in a situation, how would they handle that?
In the raffle for 5, as is Mike D's Nuts, says Jake, put me in. Mike D's Nuts is now in the raffle with this $20 super chat. D's Nuts. Hey now, Andrew C says, give me some Brooks Bollinger. He would have probably won that game in London if he started for the Jets that day. Mark says, Woody has inspired me to send virtual hugs to the community. I'll tell you what, we love the inspiration. Mark in the raffle.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Rick Kent says, I'm having lunch with Jost today, and I'm looking forward to it. Put me in the raffle. Who's Jost today? Joest. Maybe he meant J-Quest? J-Quest, I'm going to assume he meant. Rick Kent, have a great lunch with J-Quest if I got it right. Andrew C says, I effing hate that I can't be there. Don't worry, Andrew C. You're always with us. The Rooster, who called in and had a great call earlier, gifted a membership. So he is in the raffle now for 1. And Black Gypsy, who we just heard from, he gifted a membership too. All right. I was going to get to the raffle, but I have 2 things that need to be discussed here. The first is the latest back and forth from Aaron Glenn on his quarterback situation. This was sent to me. Apparently, it's highly entertaining. So here we go.
And I'll tell you that.
But is it because you don't want to, or because...
That's exactly it.
But with Tyrod's situation questionable, doesn't that play into this potentially?
That's exactly why I'm not telling you, because I don't want to.
No, but I understand that. But I mean, is it partly because of the injury?
It's exactly why I'm saying it, because I don't want to.
Does the
I don't know how many times I got to answer you that. It's not going to change.
Do the players know who the quarterback is?
That's going to be between me and the players.
Does, I guess, not knowing how secretive it is, does it affect the preparation at all for the game?
We had a great week of practice.
Oh,
our guys know, and we're going to keep that between us, and that's how it's going to be.
Oh, no.
The starter's gotten the normal reps the starter would get before.
That's between me and the team.
Oh, no, he said it. No, we have no chance on Sunday. He said it. No. We're never winning a game. No. It's the kiss of death. He said it again. Oh, no. 0-8. Here we come. We had a great week of practice. Oh, man. I love this team, and I hate them all at once. Amazing. No, Aaron, no. Oh, my God. No team is better Wednesday through Friday than your New York Jets. Unreal. All right, one last call, and we're making the exception for this guy because he is the champ.
The only thing better than all them shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Of course he does it. Of course he does it. That's not even what I wanted to talk about. But because I don't want to. Memes that are going to happen from what he just said is just, it's I just wanted to comment on 2 things. One, it didn't really sink in until Fireman Ed said it that he wasn't wearing the Jets hat and the green tie like normal, and it's really starting to bother me. Like that whole. I know Fireman Ed. He was repeating himself because he was being so passionate, but it was incredible. Like the passion coming out of him and how he's so right about that. With like, we care so much. We put so much into this. You're showing up to the NFL meetings. You can't even rock your team's gear. You always wear the Jets hat. Like he is on to new shit. You know what I mean? Like that sucks, bro. That hit different when he said that and pointed that out. And I just a lot of people are still trying to. There are people out there still trying to defend Glenn, and you know, not to hit on Ricky NY, but his take on his Rodgers take is just awful. I mean, thinking that we would be just as bad, and why commiserate for 1 year when you can start the rebuild now, and the things that people will say just to act like Rodgers wouldn't be in a 10. Listen, the biggest decision that Glenn made in his Jets career was getting a quarterback. We have not seen good quarterback play in how long? We've gone through this with Zach Wilson. We know what this is. This is what we wanted. We wanted Aaron Rodgers out the door, right? You guys are crazy to think that this run game with that offensive line talent wouldn't be in a better position, just like we were last game at the end of games, letting the defense lose the games, you know?
Let me tell you about our friend Ricky NY. Is that Sonny in the back there? Sonny.
Oh, hold on. That's Lola. That's Lola.
Oh, hi, Lola.
I just picked her up from school.
Also, I see my hoodie in the back there. I got to get that back from you at some point.
Yeah, you see. I gotta bring it into. It's so funny.
I asked him inside. I go, "Where's my hoodie?"
So I bring.
He's like, "Bonesy has it." I go, "Bonesy."
I'm going to bring it in tomorrow to work, so I have it in here to remind me. But I was joking in chat. You didn't see, but I said, Jake, I was at football practice yesterday, and my wife is cold, and she wore your sweatshirt. You're welcome.
Wow.
But I was just messing around.
She's more than welcome to wear it. I'm sure it smells like loser.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, all of our stuff. Not today, baby. I'm smelling fresh to death today. Wearing my Knicks cut up. I am like so just excited that Knicks basketball is here, and I can just have a little bit of joy in my life because I have been miserable for 7 weeks, and I don't know this press conference with this, and I don't know what we think we're going to expect with Garrett Wilson not playing and Sauce. At least Sauce still has his all-pro notches in his belt, and he's still a good cornerback. People want to hate on Sauce. He's still great in man coverage, and he's good against the bigger receivers in the NFL. That's when Sauce succeeds. So with no Sauce and no Garrett, I mean, if we scheme up something on offense, we're going to be hyping up Tanner and really, really hating on Fields if the offense starts clicking this week without Garrett. So I still love Tanner, though. I think Tanner is the best thing that Glenn did. We haven't gotten to see him at his full potential, but I think he's a good young offensive mind, and I do like Tanner. That is the one positive. And Brady Cook, baby. Let's go, Brady Cook.
You're going to see him at some point, Bones, and I'm with you. Let's go Knicks. That's all we have.
Thanks for getting me in, Jake. Appreciate you, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bonesy checking in. The champ. Robin says, we could thank Jimmy Dolan and that crook Silver for the Jets' lack of a stadium. I love the Knicks, but F Jimmy Dolan. Hey, Dolan's never selling the Knicks, but he figured it out. Why? He hired competent people, finally. Andrew C. writes in, practice kings, Jake Dew and Allen Iverson practice. I'm still laughing at Glenn saying they had a great week of practice.
Do the players know who the quarterback is?
That's going to be between me and the players.
Does, I guess, not knowing how secretive it is, does it affect the preparation at all for the game?
We had a great week of practice with our guys. our guys know we're going to keep that between us, and that's how it's going to be.
And the starter is not the normal reps the starter we get before.
That's between me and the team.
I love it. Let's play games, Aaron. If they get their asses kicked on Sunday, it's going to be 2 weeks of one and done. You can't act like that with the media. It's just dumb. I thought Drew from Jersey had a great take on this. He's a longtime Jet fan, very active on Twitter, very funny guy. He goes, Glenn could have saved himself by just saying, we as a staff haven't made the final decision yet, and just say that line again and again. Like Aaron Glenn playing these games, it's just like he never thinks about his words, and he just makes it worse for himself. Just say, we as a staff haven't made a final decision yet. Drew is 1,000% right. I think that is spot on.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
The power of friendship might not even be able to save us this week because the head coach said they had a great week of practice. Also, speaking of Ricky NY, Ricky NY got thrown into a body bag this morning by Joe Caporoso. So let's set this one up. So Joe had a tweet where he said, at least it appears like, the Jets haven't, their best players haven't said that, they want out, right? And Ricky responded to it and wrote, Joe, that's because you're in too big of a hurry to condemn them. Like the post saying most of our touchdowns were in garbage time equals Tampa, 2-point game leading with a minute and a half left. And Miami, 6-point game, 1-score games are in garbage time. Seems like you caught Asman-itis. So Ricky takes a shot at me and says Asman-itis, right? If you're critical of Aaron Glenn, apparently it's now called Asman-itis. And Joe Caporoso, who's been pro Glenn, wanted him to be the guy they hired, which I never did. I didn't want anyone without previous head coaching experience. He says, my friend, they're 0-7. And even if you want to say their fourth quarter offensive touchdowns versus Tampa and Miami were not garbage time, that means they haven't scored a touchdown in 8 quarters and a non-garbage time touchdown in 12 quarters. Okay to be critical of an 0-7 staff while still pointing out the positives where they exist. So Ricky NY coming after me, and then he also had this tweet where Ricky responded to this guy Xavier, who says he lost respect for me because I've been critical of the Jets, and God forbid we tweeted out the funny moral victory video of Glenn, and apparently I triggered a bunch of losers on social media. So Xavier says, I lost a lot of respect for Jake. You still watch his content, but it's been downhill for a while. And then Ricky goes, Xavier, I'm nowhere near as big as popular, but give my channel a try. It's a nice change from the nonstop negativity. I would simply say this to Ricky, who I like and got to meet in person. What is there to be positive about right now? Right? Like, what am I supposed to be positive about? They suck, and their head coach is telling us they had a great week of practice, and the reason for that is because they practice against themselves. So, I don't know. If people want positivity, you're not going to find it here because we're going to be honest. We'll be positive when there's things to be positive about. Right now, there isn't, unfortunately. I wish there was. Indy says, be positive that Aaron Glenn is building a foundation. Aaron Glenn is destroying the foundation. He can't win a game. He's building what foundation? They don't do anything better now than they've done the last couple of years. There is no foundation. Their foundation is made of shit. That's your foundation. Their foundation is Beastbreaker's underwear. But hey, at least we have the power of friendship.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
I mean, seriously. It's all bad right now. Frankie says, you and Will are honest. We suck and we're mad. Will's more positive than I am, but even he is like, there's not much. Indy Jet says, any delay of games under Aaron Glenn. Holy shit, Indy. The last 2 weeks, he's made the same mistake twice at the end of the first half. This time he kept the timeout in his pocket instead of throwing a Hail Mary. He didn't know how long the field goal yardage was to potentially win the game with Nick Folk in London. He ran a fake on 4th and 1 and then proceeded to drain out the clock in the first half of the same drive. You're saying, are there any delay of games? There were week 1. Remember they had to burn a timeout right before the 2-point try that didn't work? I didn't kill Glenn for that. It was his first game. I knew there would be some growing pains. He'd have to learn for it. He's still making the same mistakes. It's been worse. Oh, my God. The simping that Indy Jets is doing here. Any delay of games? I can't. Holy hell, Indy. I love you, dude, but this is a bad look for you, man. Hey, the Jets haven't had a delay of game of late. That's a win.
I'm gonna do my silly dance, cause we're built like shit. What kind of a question is that? We have the moral victories. My team has no wins. No wins.
That video apparently triggered a lot of crazies on social media, but I think Gator did a good job putting it together. I laughed, and we don't laugh, we'll cry. This probably triggers those same losers, too.
For me personally, being able to ask other coaches that have been in a situation, how would they handle that?
No delay game penalties. No. Come on, man. They don't have a win. They're 0-7. They're the only team that hasn't won a game this year. What are we talking about, man? We just want to see wins. All right. I can't. I've talked enough. Ladies and gentlemen, let's raffle away a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Yeah, here we go. Hey, I want to thank everyone who entered, even Black Gypsy, who loves to be the last person to throw a membership in at the buzzer. I got you. But only one can win today. If you win, you got to email me your name and your address so I know where to send it to. Again, thank you to everyone for your support. If we don't laugh, we'll cry. At least the Jets are apparently building a foundation. All right, I'm done. Good luck to everyone. Hopefully I see many of you at our watch party on Sunday. We'll watch the foundation the Jets are building go up against the Cincinnati Bengals. Good luck. Only one can win. And that winner is... That winner is Rick Kent. The great Rick Kent is your winner. Let's go. This is for Rick, who was in Tampa with us. Congrats to Rick. Always supports the show. Longtime viewer. Great to have Rick with us at our tailgate even this past Sunday for the Asmaniac tailgate before the Jets and the Panthers. So that's a show. Thank you all for your support. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Reminder to RSVP for the watch party. If you're coming and you don't RSVP, you're not getting in the raffle. That's why you need the RSVP. It's free to show up, but if you don't RSVP, I can't keep a running track of who to put in the raffle for halftime to win all the prizes. So see you guys at Goldies on Sunday. Nick Farrier will be with us at 4:15 today, so I'm looking forward to that. Until then, folks, JETS, 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 Jets. Take it away, Beast.
Dippy, go.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.